Hello, and welcome to another episode of Video Game Reviews. Today I'm going to be talking about Bayonetta 2 on the Nintendo Switch. So this game was originally released on the Wii U, and it's been on the Switch for a pretty darn long time. I think it was kind of an earlier release for the Switch, and I just got around to playing through it. And so if you, like me, we're kind of curious about this game because you've heard some positive things probably, but you just for one reason or another maybe haven't given it a chance yet. I'm here to tell you a little bit about what you've been missing, what it is that you've passed on up until this point, and whether you should keep on passing or check it out. So the game features pretty darn good graphics for the Nintendo Switch, and also the music is pretty darn epic at times. Like it's a pretty excellent score for the most part, I would say. The lore is okay. The combat is pretty darn fluid and nice. It's challenging, but not overly so. Like not to the point of frustration. I would say most of the time, at least. Like I'm sure there's a few points within the game, maybe a boss fight or two that can get a little rough, but that's kind of par for the course. It's to be expected. So another reason why I put off playing Bayonetta 2 is I wasn't that impressed with the first game in the series, which I had back in the day on the Xbox 360, and I played through that game, and it's, for someone that has no idea what Bayonetta is, I would say like the quick and dirty description for Bayonetta is kind of like a God of War style game in terms of gameplay. But imagine, I guess, if God of War just didn't take itself so seriously, and I guess a lot of people see that as a good thing, but I typically like games that take themselves pretty seriously. It has to be a pretty specific instance for me to prefer a game to actually not take itself that seriously, because most of the time when a developer or a writer attempts to do that, kind of approach their work from that angle of not taking it too seriously, I just feel like, look, if you can't take it seriously and this is your project, like, how am I supposed to take it seriously? And of course you're going to get different people, different people are going to have different preferences as far as that's concerned, but that just like tends to be the way that I look at things. Not always, not 100% of the time, but for the most part, I would say I prefer a game to take itself seriously and to be epic or even, over the top. But for me, a movie or a book or a story or a game or whatever, if it's going to poke fun at itself, then my God, man, that's just a really difficult thing to nail, in my opinion. But anyways, so in short, I guess what I'm saying is, like, the first Bayonetta, a big part about why I thought it was good but not great is the theme and the characters. I just thought were kind of, it's almost like, I don't know, this probably isn't a very good description or comparison, but I would say the first Bayonetta, just off the top of my head, is like if someone combined God of War and like the Rocky Horror Picture Show or something, and it was just blah for me. But I know a lot of people like it. And anyways, Bayonetta 2, I felt like kind of maybe it's that my expectations were kind of tempered from the first game, or maybe they toned down the sort of flamboyant silliness of the first game. I've heard it said that the fighting is a little more refined, a little more polished, and a little more forgiving in Bayonetta 2. And so those are some of the arguments for why, some of the other arguments that I've heard as to why Bayonetta 2 is, for many people, considered superior to the first one. And just to be clear, I totally agree with that opinion. Bayonetta 2 is like, just throwing a number out there, I would probably spitball I'd give it like an 8 out of 10 probably. Like it's better than a good game, but it's not like, I don't love Bayonetta 2, but I would say that it is like a very good game. But sort of like just like it's firmly a very good game, but it's not anywhere close to being a game that I would say that I like love or need to play over and over again. You know, I may pick it up again at some point down the road. I had a great time with it my first playthrough, but I don't feel like, despite the fact that I unlocked, you know, an additional character and everything by finishing the game the first time, I don't feel the need to jump right back in. But it is worth the money so I bought it. I bought Bayonetta 2 from some guy online for like $35, I think I paid for it. And that feels like a good price for me. I think that the asking price of, what is it, 50 or 60, I do feel like that's a little bit too steep. But if you want to either, you know, scour the internet or just put it on your Switch wish list and wait for it to go on sale, I do think it's worth picking up, just not at the full asking price. And so with that, I think I'm going to call it a wrap. Yeah, I just don't feel like I have a lot more to add to. I'll say this, I think I enjoyed the characters a little bit more in this one. I really didn't like the characters very much at all in the first Bayonetta, but for some reason, you know, I kind of like them a little bit more in this sequel. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and call it a wrap here, because I don't love this game so much that I feel like I need to gush about it endlessly, but I also don't dislike it so much that I have a laundry list of complaints that I need to cover. So I think we're done here for now. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you watching. Please click like and subscribe. Click the little bell so you can get notified when I publish new videos. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.